Over 1 million federal workers right now, as you know, are going unpaid.
They won't even negotiate with us.
Tonight on DC News Now at 10, we are heading into day 22 tomorrow into this government shutdown. Federal workers worried about missing their first full paycheck on Friday. Food programs on the verge of running out of cash as well. The impact on so many families in the DMV as food banks try to keep up.
And the rest of the work week not quite as warm as the day today, thanks to a cold front. At least details on those numbers coming up.
A trial begins in the murder of an American university professor. The opening arguments nearly 15 years to the day since she was brutally killed. Taking on ticket scalpers and bots, the new legislation the DC Council is considering to lower prices for fans.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We are heading into week 4 of this government shutdown tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 10. I'm Susan Tran. Chris Flanagan has the night off. Now, Senate Republicans joining the president at the White House as lawmakers warn food assistance programs could soon dry up.
They're going to keep voting to open up the government, and eventually the Democrats, hopefully sooner or later, are going to come around.
And Democrats have voted against the GOP-backed short-term funding bill 11 times now. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer mocking the White House lunch.
Republicans may not have time to fix people's health care, but apparently they got plenty of time for a mini pep rally with Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, federal workers will be missing their first full paycheck on Friday. The longer this goes on, the more anxiety, stress, and frustration grows. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live on Capitol Hill. And Daniel, you're checking in with a federal worker. How's she really handling all of this strain?
Susan, she's doing the best that she can. She got her last partial paycheck last week, and she says she actually went through another shutdown 7 years ago, the one that lasted 35 days, but there's more uncertainty with this one, she says. 21 days into the government shutdown, federal workers are getting anxious.
Back in 2018, 2019, we were pretty much guaranteed our back pay upon return. Now there's talk that we may not receive back pay.
We talked with a furloughed worker in Virginia who didn't want to be identified for fear of retaliation. She works for the Small Business Administration, and she's worried about mounting bills.
Thank goodness I paid my car off last year, so no car note, but I have a mortgage, I have, utility bills, credit card bills and things. I have a pet.
She's prioritizing expenses with the money she has on hand.
My car needs to be serviced, but I'm waiting for this to go over and be done and finished before I tackle that, because that could be a major expense.
For now, she has signed up for the interest-free paycheck assistance program with Navy Federal Credit Union, something that's necessary as Congress is at an impasse over health care subsidies. That, she says, is important.
We need our health care, and we also don't need our premiums to go up, because things are very costly as it is.
She has a simple message to lawmakers.
The government needs to be reopened.
Now, as a furloughed worker, she will be back to work when the government reopens, but she worries about her colleagues in limbo right now, some of whom were given that RIF notice, that RIF notice, just days before the shutdown happened. So, again, they are uncertain about what's going to happen with their futures. We're live on Capitol Hill. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, a lot of consternation for so many people. Daniel, thank you. Millions of families could soon also lose their food assistance. Funding for SNAP is set to run out in November. 1 in 8 Americans rely on SNAP benefits. In D.C., more than 137,000 families use the program to put food on the table. Mayor Muriel Bowser says add to that the mass federal firings and missed paychecks, and it's making the situation even more dire.
Without a paycheck, they're going to find it even harder. And so then you layer upon that other families who may not get food benefits for themselves and their children. It would be absolutely devastating.
Now, the Capital Area Food Bank helped to get food boxes out to 200 federal workers today alone. They're going to continue to give out more containers of food tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday all across the DMV. You just need to show your government ID. And we do have continuing coverage of this government shutdown on air and online, including the full list of locations where you can pick up one of those food boxes. Just go to dcnewsnow.com. All right, let's turn to our chief meteorologist, Jackie Lair. It felt like summer, and it was replete with some pop-up storms for some folks.
Yeah, we did have some thunderstorms roll through the area within the last, 2 hours or so. Ooh. So it may have woken up some people if they went to sleep a little bit early tonight. But we're seeing those thunderstorms continuing to wind down. But just to recap, some of those highs today, wasn't it quite nice out there? Low to mid 70s for much of the area today. That's not sticking around for the rest of the week. That cold front just back out towards our west is slowly starting to push in to our westernmost areas right now, but that did spark up some rumbles of thunder. We do have some lightning strikes still associated with some of these cells, but much of it has continued to weaken. So right now we're just looking at this cluster of some heavier downpours right around the Loudoun County area, and then also right around Manassas, some steadier rain, and then back down towards the Stafford, Fredericksburg area, some lighter rain showers now pushing into southern Maryland as we speak. Cold front continuing to advance its way eastward, eventually clearing the area, and eventually those showers and rumbles of thunder will clear the area as well. And we'll also see those cooler temperatures overnight and into tomorrow morning. Highs tomorrow, not nearly as warm as the day today, back in those low to mid 60s. We'll have more details, timing with the rest of that 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Jackie. Now to day one in a murder trial for the man accused of killing an American university professor 15 years ago. Jorge Landros was finally returned to Maryland from Mexico to face charges. Prosecutors saying back in October of 2010, he brutally killed Sue Ann Markham in her Bethesda home. They say he took advantage of her kindness and generosity, and he hit and strangled her, then staged it to look like a burglary. More witnesses will continue to testify tomorrow. New tonight in Western Maryland, a 27-year-old man is charged with intentionally setting 2 fires outside of this business here in Hagerstown. Investigators say that Michael Boating was caught on video starting the fires outside of Wonder Book and Video last night. He now faces several charges, including arson. Staying in Maryland, and Montgomery County police are searching for a man wanted for attempted murder. DeAndre Osborne is accused of shooting a man in a parked car in Silver Spring back in July. They say the man was not hurt, but that car was riddled with bullets. Osborne is considered armed and dangerous, and if you know where he might be, you are urged to call police. Happening tomorrow, the Wizards starting their season against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Then they play Dallas on Friday before they return to D.C. for the home opener on Sunday against the Charlotte Hornets. It comes as D.C. Council is considering new restrictions on resale tickets, including putting a cap on the price that you'll pay. There's a hearing tomorrow where you get a chance to weigh in, as well as major companies which are preparing to chime in as well. DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live outside of City Hall. And Ben, tell us about this proposal.
Well, it details exactly what you had mentioned at the top of the story here, Susan. Good evening to you. Tomorrow morning, 9:30, City Council is going to hear not only from the public, but also from members from second ticket resale companies as well to this very proposal, setting that cap and also going after bots.
Prices too high, they need to bring them prices down.
There's a lot of people that can't come to these games because they can't even afford it.
And people that buy the tickets raise them up for a higher price.
You think people should be held to account for that?
Yes.
Look no further than the sidewalk outside Capital One Arena, and DMV sports and entertainment fans are also fans of cracking down on sky-high ticket prices.
You can't raise the price up 300%.
DC Councilman Charles Allen introduced a bill earlier this year to crack down on tickets resold and platforms that allow it. The largest change? Cap the total cost of a ticket resold to no more than 10% of the original price, including fees. Plus, ticket resale platforms should restrict so-called bots from scooping up tickets from humans. How does that make you feel being a real person, knowing that there might be someone in line in front of you who might not even be real?
It makes me feel terrible because it's like, wow, we only get a chance to get an average ticket for $100-something.
Good idea, bad idea?
Good idea.
IMP, owners of DC's 930 Club and other venues, supports the bill, saying nearly 62,000 tickets resold from this past January through mid-October were more than double the face value. A StubHub spokesperson said the bill would drive people away from safe, trusted platforms and into risky corners of the internet. SeatGeek says our fees allow us to fight fraud, provide an industry-leading buyer guarantee, battle bots, and build fan-friendly technology. What do you want to see done on that front?
Lower the prices. Let everybody get to go see these games.
Wouldn't we like to pay a little bit less in every corner of our life? Now, meantime, there are several members of City Council that have already said that they're going to back this bill. Again, this public hearing happens tomorrow outside of City Hall, the Wilson Building here along Pennsylvania Avenue at 9:30. You can read more about this proposal at dcnewsnow.com. In downtown D.C., Ben Dennis, back to you.
All right, Ben, I suspect many fans love that idea. Thank you. New tonight in Maryland, an important night for Prince George's County. Several new members are sworn into their positions. County Executive Aisha Braveboy welcoming her new administration, which includes a new fire chief, Mimi Michaelides, who was confirmed this summer. She's one of several officials taking their oath of office tonight.
Her appointment as fire chief is transformational. It's a transformational moment not only for the department, but also for the entire county.
Braveboy also confirming George Nader as the new police chief. He's been the interim head of the department since June.